name is Amponsah Tawiah. In fact, I want us really to look at the complexity of the mining industry first. If you actually look at the mining industry, of all the industrial settings, that is the most complex one. And actually, you can equate a mining industry to a mini nation. You have the health, you have the hospitality, you have the construction, you have the industry, you have the energy, you have the environment, sanitation, what have you, that you don't have from the mine. And then you realize that if it's for a mini nation, you need a set of rules and regulations actually for systems to work. So actually, if you are operating a mine and then there are a lot of permitting processes, then that one, just have it at the back of your mind that, oh, you are a country of your own. So you must also have a set of rules and regulations that will actually enable you to exist as a country. You've been talking about permitting. And I would say that even in the US, for a complete mining permitting, it takes between 7 to 10 years. And then in Ghana here, usually 3 to 6 years, that one is normal with us in this country. Just like the structures within the mine is complex, so also is the operational settings. So I want all of us here as industry people to momentarily look at this particular scenario. You are in a pit. An excavator is actually loading material into a dump truck. At the same time, some people who are there, they are charging hose ready to blast. At the same time, you see at the crest of the pit an excavator that is also pushing down debris. And then some people are also doing grade control drilling. What will really happen in the pit? It will be totally chaotic. And that is why we need a set of rules and regulations to guide all our activities. But I must also say that if we apply too many rules and then there are no guiding principles, they also tend to be very nebulous. And naturally, everybody, even if you have your own son, every time he comes back to the house, you beat him. Next time when he's coming, he'll be coming holding a cane. I would like to look at a little bit of history about the regulations in the 70s and the regulations in the 2012 thereabout. The LI 665 and the 666 of the 1970. I would say that that one was a regulatory policy. During those times when we were operating this kind of regulation, even on the mine, when the GM hears that the inspectors are coming, even if it needs cleanup and there's nobody there to clean, the GM himself will actually pick the broom and do the sweeping. Because at that time it was like, my intention is coming to arrest you. And your intention is trying to avoid the inspector arresting you. But the thing is, you, the inspector, you go with that set of intention. As soon as you leave the mines, you go back to business as usual. But with the LI 2182 and the 2177, we gradually move away from regulatory policy to active dialoguing. When you go to this stage, actually, even when the inspector even comes to the mine, he's not supposed to go anywhere until he has actually met with the mine management. And then do some discussions. He will indicate the purpose of his visit. Then after they finish with all the processes, after the discussion, then the mine management will actually lead the inspector actually to go on site visits. I think with this one, you see that then it becomes a collaborative approach between the inspector and the operators of the mine. And actually, the LI 2182 and the 2177, when the first draft was made, it was given to the mines actually to review for more than 4 years. So after the industry has reviewed and they said, now we are satisfied, take it, so that now it becomes our own and not the state-owned. So I would say that these two regulations are actually industry-owned and also incentive-based. In fact, with the current trend, and also with these same regulations, now you've actually moved away from me coming to tell you what you have to do. You've gone to a stage where the mine manager himself will have to do the risk assessment and come out with the safe work procedures. And he will then submit these things to the Chief Inspector of Mines for review. And when the two of them agree, this thing becomes part of the regulations for that particular mine. So you see that the regulation has not been created by me, but by you. And then you move further by taking this into the technical committee meeting. We discuss this safe work procedure that you came out with. And then totality, if it is agreed upon, then it becomes part of the regulation for the entire mining industry. Actually, for the purpose of controlling accidents on the mine, the inspectorate together with the industry, you've come out with a predictive assessment by the industry. This is part of the new monitoring trends that is now operational. What is done now is we actually look at what could be the possible accidents and incidents, then you all work together in order to minimize it. I'll give you a classical example. You pick this data from the industry from 2012 to 2017 on a quarterly basis. Then you look at all the accidents that occurred. After you've looked at all these accidents, we actually plotted them to look at the trend and then make a forecast. So we did this time series plot of the accidents. And then the time series plot actually gave us indications that for quarter one of 2018, for all the accidents in totality, you should be expecting about 134. You work around it, and the first quarter of 2018, the accidents reduced from 134 to 115. Then you look at quarter two. The forecast was to give us 133. You work around them with the industry, and then that one reduced to 113. Then you look at the third quarter, which was supposedly to be the highest, 179. You work with the industry through constant inspections, workshops, and guidance. That one reduced to 105. Then you think that now the industry is also doing very well. Then you look at the time series for fatal accidents. The focus of that, quarter one, you're going to get 1. Quarter 2, you're going to get 2. Quarter 3, 0. And quarter 4, 1. The quarter 1, the industry really performed very well. There wasn't any fatality. But then in quarter 2, that was where we had the outlier. That infamous fatalities that happened at Newmont. And that one was a very, very big blow not only to the inspectorate or to Newmont, but to the entire mining fraternity. And then you also, here you look at the fact that quarter 3 was also going to be 0. Indeed, quarter 3, you also have 0 fatality. And quarter 4, that's why you predicted that there was going to be 1 fatality. We tried working around it. You knew where it was going to come from. You made every effort, but it did happen. And that was at Shanzi Mining. Then we did the same for serious accidents. But then the trend also showed that the serious accidents were actually going to be very low compared with the previous years. But indeed, they've also come out very low. So that one, we think that scientifically, we are not able to guide ourselves against some of these accidents and incidents. We do the same thing for first aid, and that's why you realize that the first aid accidents are just going to be very high. And the trend has also shown that indeed for the first 3 quarters, the results that we have also has actually proven this one to be true. You look at the trend also for the non-casualty. The non-casualty, we are referring to the near misses. And that one we had higher forecast. For the 3 quarters, that one too has also virtually become true. So I would say what then is the main objective of the Mines Inspectorate of Ghana? Our sole aim is actually to push legislation for national mining standards to reduce mining deaths, occupational injuries, and equipment damages. We believe that if we're able to actually hold these 3 parameters down, then the industry will really benefit. We also actually emphasize on support and training to the mine workers. And as such, we realize that competency examination has now actually become a norm in the mining industry. As we speak now, next week, we are even going to have the 4th quarter senior mine officials exams. And continuously, we are really shaping the people actually working on the mine. Actually, if somebody is working on the mine, he holds BSc, MSc, PhD, HND, whatever. That certificate is not of much significance to him than the person who is actually holding that competency certificate. Because if you are holding a competency certificate and then you lose it, where do you go around the entire mining industry in the country? And I tell you, you may not even get some land even to farm on. So our goals, we always want to actually come out with policy inputs that will establish and then promote the mine health and safety standards of mining operations. We also want to ensure that the operators themselves are safe and healthy. The environment is also safe and healthy. And then continuously, you also come out with guidelines, all with the intention of improving the mining sector. Any good practice that actually occurs somewhere becomes part of the mining regulation. You know that the industry is moving very fast. Everybody expects that because of the dynamics of the industry, the regulations must also be very dynamic. You can't get Parliament to do that. So we have a portion in the regulation 3 of the 2182, that the Chief Inspector of Mines can prepare guidelines, he will come out with rules, and then directives. And all these will form part of the regulations that will actually keep keep on directing the industry to ensure the safety of our people. Our main aim is actually to ensure that our operators are very safe working on the ground, and then we know that if we have an operation where the safety of the operator you can count on, the safety of the equipment you can count on, and then all other factors being equal, then you are sure that you can also actually improve upon your productivity. The essence of regulation is actually not to punish anybody on the mine. Our main focus is actually to enhance safety and good health on the mine. And the regulations that we've come out with, I would say that they have dual focus. One, to ensure the interests of the investor, and the other one also to ensure the safety of the mine workers. Thank you.